The 2024 WVU football recruiting class continued their impressive recruiting run with the additions of both another four-star recruit and the class's first defensive back commit. Let's go. What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Jordan Cruz back here with the Country Roads webcast. And before I get into this video, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder. If you would, do us a favor, hit that thumbs up button on this video. Give us a like. It'll really help not only its performance, but future videos performances here on the channel. And if you're a West Virginia fan or a college football fan in general, for that matter, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. Helps us and it helps you, as it helps get more of this Mountaineer sports content out to Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, let's get into it. All right, as I mentioned in the cold open to the video, West Virginia has added 2 more commits to the 2024 West Virginia recruiting class that's really on an impressive roll right now. The first of those was the first defensive back addition to this recruiting class thus far, and that comes in the form of safety KJ Flo coming from the state of North Carolina there, as you see detailed in this article by Mike Ostie over on WVSportsNow.com. He announced his commitment on Twitter there, and if you want to follow him, Mountaineer Nation, his Twitter is @FloKey. All one word there. Hey Siri, play Take Me Home Country Roads, 110% committed. He tweets out with the awesome graphic there, tagging WVU football, Jordan Leslie, Dante Wright, Shadon Brown, among others. And Flo can be used at either corner or safety. He's played a little bit of both at his high school days. I think at West Virginia, he will most likely develop into a safety in the future. We'll see how he pans out. 5'11", 170. WVU been in on him for a while there since March. Has yet to receive his rating from any of the recruiting services, so we don't exactly know his star rating yet. But from the film and from reports on him, I think that he's a player that will contribute to the West Virginia defensive backfield in the future. And I think he's a talented player that can help in a lot of different areas, he has experience at both corner and safety. So he could factor in as a deep safety in his career. He also could be a candidate for spear, but good addition, which was followed up later in the same day with a commitment from yet another 4-star player to add to this class, this one coming at the wide receiver position. And that wide receiver is Brandon Raymond from St. Joe's Prep in Philadelphia. And this is a big commit for West Virginia, not only because he's really talented as a 4-star wide receiver that can help in the future, but also his quarterback this year at St. Joe's Prep is one of West Virginia's highest rated targets left on their board here in this recruiting class. He's the quarterback you've heard us talk about in the past here on the Country Roads webcast, Samaj Jones, a 4-star target West Virginia is trying to get. So hopefully landing Brandon Raymond could potentially improve West Virginia's chances at landing Samaj Jones, and fingers crossed they're able to do that. But West Virginia with St. Joe's Prep is establishing a bit of a pipeline nonetheless. We saw Josiah Trotter come in and commit to the Mountaineers last year from that program. Now we get Brandon Raymond, and like I said, still targeting Samaj Jones, but super excited about this addition for West Virginia. Really could be a bright piece of the future. Adding a 4-star wide receiver, always impactful, and it really is boosting this recruiting class, which has really hit the ground running now in a big way and is shaping up to be a very impressive one for West Virginia. 6'1", 180-pounder is what Brandon Raymond is listed at. As you see his commitment graphic there, he shared on Twitter as well with the statement 100% committed, and his Twitter, if you want to follow him, Mountaineer Nation, is just at Brandon Raymond, his name there. But there you see his graphic he shared on Twitter. And with his 4-star rating, he had an impressive offer list, as you see here, detailed on WVSportsNow.com as well. Boston College, Kentucky, Louisville, Maryland, Michigan State, Oregon, Penn State, ESP, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Wisconsin, some of the other major programs that were in on Raymond and really targeting him highly. So I believe the argument could be made that this may be the most impressive commit West Virginia has gained in the 2024 class. Either way, it's a very important one as they make another 4-star addition to this class. And speaking of that class, let's take a look at it here now as we continue to try and track these commitments on the Country Roads webcast with our 2024 commitment tracker. And as we take a look at our commitment list here on the Country Roads webcast, we can see that the 2024 verbal commitment list has already swelled to 8 commitments in just a matter of about a week's time. And I don't think West Virginia is done yet. Stay tuned for more news here on this 2024 class. I think you'll see more commitments be announced in the coming days. But for now, we have 8 names. Of course, the subject of this video, Keelan Flo there at the defensive back position coming from North Carolina, and Brandon Raymond, the 4-star wide receiver from the state of Pennsylvania Virginia, the latest additions. But just to run down through the 8 names really quickly: Richard Wink James, a defensive lineman; Keyshawn Robinson at wide receiver; Jack Samarco at tight end; Obina Onwuka, the other 4-star addition, a defensive lineman; Kyle Altuner on the offensive line; Elijah Kinsler on the defensive line; and then, of course, the aforementioned KJ Flo at defensive back, and Brandon Raymond, the other 4-star commit West Virginia currently has in this class. So those are currently the 8 names West Virginia has committed at the time of this recording, as we will continue to try and update this list here on the Country Roads webcast. Also, be sure to go back if you haven't checked them out yet. Got videos on each one of these commits from the time that they announced their commitment to West Virginia, just like this video here on Flo and Raymond. But the 2024 West Virginia football recruiting class certainly seems to be shaping up to be a very good one. So there you have it, Mountaineer Nation. 2 more additions to the 2024 class, one on each side of the ball, one of which being a 4-star addition that has ties to a player that we're really hoping West Virginia can bring in. But having said that, what are your thoughts on either one of those additions, whether it be KJ Flo on the defensive side or Brandon Raymond, the 4-star receiver on the offensive side? How do you feel about those 2 pickups and the 2024 class in general now that it really seems to be hitting its stride? Be sure, let us know down in the comments. We really appreciate the interactions as we continue to try and grow the Country Roads webcast community throughout Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.